with your first. You're going to go ahead and look at me, pretend like the camera's not there.
Absolutely.
Just say your first name, last name, spell it for me, and then your title.
I am, my name is Matt Reardon, and it's spelled M-A-T-T-R-E-A-R-D-O-N. I am the president CEO of Reardon Enterprises, and I started this petition. Thank you to everybody that has shared the petition that I started 2 days ago. Right now we're over 16,000 shares on Facebook. It's really taken off, and you know, I know you're probably going to ask me this question, Candace, but the reason I started this petition was it's something that I'm really passionate about. I talk about passion all the time in my live streams, and it's you know, in order for you to be effective in anything that you do, you have to truly believe in what your idea or what your cause or what your belief is, and that also goes with anything in business and anything in sales. So
perfect. Let's go ahead and just start exactly from the beginning. What is this petition exactly all about?
Sure.
Why is it important?
Well, this petition, as a tax-paying citizen of the state of Mississippi, as well as the overwhelming majority, the silent majority in Mississippi, we pay taxes into the state, and there are state-funded universities, cities. Not a problem with municipalities right now, but with several cities and several universities in Mississippi that are taking state funding from the state, and they're refusing to fly the flag that was voted on by the majority of the tax-paying citizens. So I really, what prompted me to go ahead and start this petition was Saturday during the Ole Miss and Alabama game, when Ole Miss decided to issue orders to their university police department to confiscate all state flags as well as all banners and signs saying let the band play Dixie. They were actually quoted with saying, "Your First Amendment rights do not matter here," and that was where it drew the line for me, and I said something has to be done.
Why should something be done?
Well, personally for me, I believe that if the flag is voted in by the citizens of Mississippi, that it's something that should be flown by any institution or any city that is currently taking state funding from the state of Mississippi. I believe that if you take the state funding, that it is an obligation for you to fly the state flag. That if you don't want to fly the state flag, don't take state money. But this is coming from the taxpayers. The taxpayers made their decision about this flag, and to be honest with you, you know, political correctness has just gone haywire in this country, and it's time for the silent majority to not be silent anymore.
Now, obviously, it seems as though with a lot of universities and colleges across the state here who have taken down the state flag, it seems as though it's not an obligation to them. Your thoughts?
Well, you know, I've heard people say that it was voted on by the admin and the students of these universities to take down the state flag, and I can tell you for a fact that this was not a vote that went out to the entire to the entire student body that pays tuition, that this was more of a closed-door meeting. And first of all, I believe that for a university and anybody that takes state funding, it shouldn't even just be up to the university, it should be up to the tax-paying citizens, because they're the ones that are providing the money which is going to these organizations. And
exactly, just to get clarification, what date did you start this petition?
I started this petition 2 days ago. Actually, it was really late in the night, 3 days ago. I don't remember exactly what the date is. I struggle with remembering certain days as far as like the actual date, but it was 2 nights ago, and then it really took off the next morning when people got up and saw the petition. And that's where I was actually searching for the petition, and I found that it had several thousand shares on it, and since then it's just skyrocketed up from there. 16,000 shares. Right now it's over 16,000 shares, and I want everybody to keep sharing that petition, and I definitely want you to sign the petition, especially if it's something that you believe in. Like I said, it's time for the silent majority to not be silent anymore.
Mm-hmm. And how did you start the petition exactly? Was it on the website?
Yes, ma'am. I actually went to change.org and I researched a statute that's listed at the top of the petition, which requires all public schools to fly the state flag from dawn to dusk, and for there to be people to take care of the flag. That's all listed on the top of the petition, the statute. But I'm asking for an addition to the statute in the legislature that not only applies to schools but also applies applies to cities, municipalities, and also specifying universities, because these people are taking state-funded tax dollars, and we have to do something about them just refusing to comply with the state for which they take the tax money from.
And how many people have signed the petition thus far?
So far, it's just under 1,000 people that have signed the petition, and that is where, you know, we really need more people to sign. We got a ton of support as far as shares across Facebook. About 10,000 comments are on the petition, full support of it. We just need more people to sign the petition. I want to see that get above 10,000, but more importantly, I want to see that petition get to 86,000 signatures, and I have full faith in this petition getting to over 86,000 signatures, but we need your help.
So that's the goal, more than 86,000.
More than 86,000. We can do something with less than 86,000, but I truly believe that this petition has the potential of getting far greater than 86,000 signatures on it.
And then once you do reach that goal, if you do, that is, what's the next step in all of this? Why does the petition matter?
The next step is that it goes to Governor Phil Bryant, and it's also going straight to the legislature so that we can actually try to make an amendment to the law and add this into the law of the state of Mississippi. That would be the next step after we garnish the amount of signatures needed for this. But you know, it's one of those things that I've talked to a lot of people about, and it's changing a flag will not change people's hearts. You've heard this said, you've heard this said, you've heard this said, and you know, if you want to look back in history, there are a lot of people that are right now rebelling against not only the state flag, but now they're against the American flag, the Star-Spangled Banner. I've heard it talked about over the last couple of days about this third verse in the national anthem. The national anthem, I've never heard the third verse. I've never heard a second verse. Our national anthem is sung based off of the first verse of that. And if we're going to go into, if we're going to break it down like that and start looking at things that included slavery in the past, then I suggest everybody do their research on the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party was the one to first really start slavery and support slavery. The Republican Party came along to try to abolish slavery. So if you ask me, if you want to take down our flag, then let's go ahead and let's take down the Democratic Party as well.
Alex, anything you want to add?
We can tell that you're really passionate about this whole thing, and then that you made reference to the whole petitions against the American flag as well as the Confederate flag here with the history part. What do you say to those that protest against the injustice in America, as far as with the injustice? I mean, even with the history of the Confederate flag with injustice.
Well, first of all, I think that there are too many people that are trying to create excuses for the problems in their life. Nobody alive today has ever met a slave, just like I've never met a slave owner. And a lot of people, because they label themselves as victims and try to position themselves as a victim of things that happened in the past, have created for themselves a situation that I like to refer to as a modern day slave. And that does not discriminate against color. All colors are modern day slaves today, because it goes back to the thinking and what they personally feel about themselves and what they trust in themselves. And I believe that anybody, I'm 29 years old. I have 2 companies. I actually just took over creating a sales force for a 3rd company, and I didn't always have this drive. I didn't always have this passion to succeed, and I believe that anybody can do what I do. It's no special gift. It's just not surrounding yourself with negativity and not labeling yourself as a victim, because that's ultimately what happens with things like that.
Good.
Okay.
All right, we can end it there. Anything else that you might want to add that I didn't ask you as it relates to the petition, state flag? Well,
I would like to say one other thing, and that is, and this is something that I'm doing good for the community that I would definitely like to definitely give a shout out to. First of all, shout out to my Oxford people. Shout out to my Mississippi people. Shout out to my non-politically correct people. But yeah, there's an organization that I'm now helping to promote. It's called gotchild.com, and what they do is right now there have been 32 hot car deaths in America, where parents have left their kids in the back seat of the car, taken the keys out of the ignition, walked in, and forgot about their child being in the car. And so what we ask is for one, go to the website gotchild.com, and there's a lot of promotional stuff so we can get the word out about helping to prevent these car deaths, because it's really, really sad. It's something that we really need to work on as far as a country. And I'd like to advise everybody that when it comes to, if you have a kid in the back seat, leave their diaper bag up front. Put a device of yours in the back so that you're reminded to go back there and check the back seat. Also, let your daycare know that if you're not there by a certain time, to call and check up and ask why little Johnny's not there at daycare. So let's all do our part in getting the word out and helping to curb this from happening again.
Good. All right, we can end it right there.
Thank you.
Here you go. This is your Facebook Live.